What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hustle with Julian. Today I'm going to be talking about how to hide your credit utilization. There's a few different ways to do it. I'm going to just go over some of the ways that work for me. The first method we're going to be talking about today is going to be the 1024 method. I learned this out of the HIM 500 course. Shout out to one of my subscribers, Dominic, for sending that over to me. Really appreciate that. In this 1024 method, I'm going to try to explain this as simple as possible. It's going to be a little confusing here and there, but hopefully you guys could stay along with me. So let's say you have 2 credit cards, right? I'm gonna make this a simple example. It will get more complex if you have multiple credit cards, but I'm gonna just make it easier to understand by just saying that you have 2 credit cards. Now let's say you have 2 credit cards. One is $10,000 limit and the other one has a $10,000 limit as well. Let's say you put one of those closing dates on the 10th and one of those closing dates on the 24th. Now let's say you're at a 50% utilization. So you have 5K on this card, 5K on this card. And what you're gonna do is, let's say it's the 11th or the 12th. It's past the 10th. The 10th is already reported. You're gonna take the remainder $5,000 out of one card. You're gonna liquidate that card and you're gonna transfer that over and pay off the card that's due on the 24th. This first card that's due on the 10th is gonna be maxed out at 10K. And then this card is going to be at 0 because you just used the remainder 5K to transfer over here. Now the 24th is going to come, and then this second card that reports on the 24th is going to report at 0. Once this reports at 0, you're then going to liquidate that same card, and since you have 10K available, you're going to liquidate all of that 10K, and then you're going to transfer it back to pay off this card that you maxed out, the first card that's due on the 10th, right? So you're gonna pay that all off, so it's then at 0. And once that's at 0, once the 10th comes around, that's gonna report at 0, depending on when it reports to the credit bureaus. But let's say hypothetically, best case scenario, it reports by the next day. Then on the 11th up to the 23rd, you're gonna have 0% utilization between both of those cards, even though you have the card maxed out now at 10K. All the 10K is over here. But during this grace period from the 11th to the 23rd, hypothetically speaking, you're gonna be able to apply for more funding. So let's say during that period when it's reported at 0 utilization, you can go and apply for something like a personal loan, and then you'll have that cash to pay down your other credit cards and then get you at a below 30%, and then you could apply for even more funding if you want. Or another thing you can do is, let's say between the 11th and the 23rd, you take out a personal loan, but you also got business credit that you need to pay down. You could take that personal loan, pay down some of your personal down to 30% utilization, take the remainder, pay down the business credit cards down to 40% or less, and then from there you can apply for more personal funding and more business funding if you need to. Really just comes down to getting creative. You got to be able to get creative, move money here, move money there. It reminds me of that trick when you got the ball and the 3 cups and you're just switching it around. It's the same concept, just you're doing it with credit and utilization. All right, guys, I'm gonna go over this second method and set another example so you guys can hopefully understand it a little bit better. I'm gonna call this the personal loan strategy. This is something that I came up with myself when I got myself into a tough situation. This is something that I'm gonna be doing now. I do recommend for any of you guys out there to help you avoid getting high utilization, what you should do is go for 10x the limit you think you need. So if you need 20K to start a business, you should be shooting for 200 grand. That way, if you, let's say, end up spending twice what you expected, let's say you spend 40K, you're still at only 20% utilization at a 200K limit. And then from there, it still gives you room to still be able to apply for different products on the business or the personal side. So that's the best way to try to avoid high utilization in the first place. But you probably are already in this situation if you're watching this video. So the personal loan strategy. Now, what you would do here, I'm gonna set an example. Let's say personal credit card, let's say you have 40K in available credit, you're at 50% utilization, so you have 20K in debt on those credit cards. And now let's say on the business credit cards, you have the same thing. Let's say you have 50% utilization, a 40K limit, and you owe 20K. So you're 20,000 in debt on the business side as well. For these debt ratios, you're not gonna be able to apply for personal credit or business credit. The highest you would ever wanna be at is 30% on the personal side and 40% on the business side. But realistically, you wanna be much lower than that if you plan on applying for funding. That's just like the top of the top. Worst case scenario. The first step you're going to do is liquidate the money that you have on your business credit cards, right? So you're gonna liquidate 10,000 at the minimal. You liquidate that 10K, then you're gonna take that 10K over to here on your personal credit cards. You're gonna pay that 20K down balance down to 10K. So now this is at a 25% utilization. When this is at 10K, then you're gonna go over to get a personal loan because your personal credit cards are only at 25% utilization, which should give you enough room to apply for a personal loan. So then let's say you get a personal loan for at least $20,000. Then take that personal loan money and you go and you pay down your business credit cards to 10K, back down to $10,000. Because remember, we took 10K from here earlier to pay down the personal credit cards. So you now have 30K in debt on the business side. You're gonna take that 20K from the personal loan, pay down 10K of that. So it only leaves you a 10K balance there. So you're only at 25% utilization on the business credit cards as well. And then from there, you're at 25% on both on the personal and the business side. And you can go apply for more personal or business credit after that. And you basically took the same amount of debt that you had the whole entire time and you made money appear out of thin air to then go and acquire more money. So literally you're in the same bad position you were, but just from moving a couple things around and applying for a personal loan, you're able to then go and apply for even more money. So this is a great way to be able to get out of a tight situation. If you got yourself in a bad situation financially and you're at high utilization, this is a great way to get out of that position. And this is something that I personally got myself into recently because I'm a little over leveraged. And when I finally thought of this, I was like, man, where was this at the whole time? Why didn't I think of this, 3 months ago, 6 months ago? Because I was in a better financial position then than I am now. If I would have thought about it then, it would have been even easier than it is now. So I just wanted to share this experience with you guys. Hopefully this helps you guys out. If you have any questions, drop them down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, stay hustling, and thanks for watching.